This is the NRL22 July 2024 Course of Fire, otherwise known as my Course of Fire. Hey shooters, this is Joe Lowley from Precision Match Timer, and I'm finally back and in the studio getting some work done here. It's been a busy couple of months with my regular job and some traveling and things like that. I've mentioned before that I'm not exactly going to do the monthly Course of Fire the same way, but I am this month. So, but before we get into that, let me do a little recap. We just got back from the NRL22 National Championship up in Wisconsin. It was a really well-run match. It was a tough Course of Fire, which is, fitting a national level match. The winds were pretty gusty, unpredictable. Sometimes I saw some people shooting almost no wind, and then later in the day you're shooting almost a mil of wind. So it was definitely different at different times of the day. Overall, the competition was extremely tough. There were some really, really good shooters there. I think it has a lot to do with the new format, with having to actually, shoot for score every month, and then those scores are used to qualify you to shoot at the Nationals. I think that made some really, really tough competition. And I was surprised at how many good shooters there were. Overall, I feel like I shot a lot better this year than I did last year at it, and yet I didn't place as well. So I think that's a good indication of how good the shooters were. And, it's just one of those things. I got to work harder at a lot of things, including a lot of mental mistakes, and working on my wing calls a little better. That is where I lost the majority of my points. We had a great squad. My good buddies Stuart and Robert, they came up with me from Georgia, and yes, it was a 21-hour drive up there. Luckily, I flew back and they had to drive back. But we also met my good buddy Clay Kennedy there, and then there was a whole bunch of other great guys in the squad. There was Levi, Justin, Easton and Jordan, David, Carlos, Alberto, and Michael. And we had a great time, really good squad, and I enjoyed meeting everybody. So the July Course of Fire is special for me because I created it. This is something that I've been putting together in my head for a while. You drive to a few hours to go to matches, and your brain starts thinking. And I put together a Course of Fire in my head and finally got it down on paper and got it over to Dominic at NRL22 headquarters, and he helped me tweak it a little bit, and we got it out. And I think it's a good Course of Fire. You're not going to see any memory games. You're not going to see the tires used at all. I tried to keep it straightforward and simple the way I think it should be. And it doesn't mean it's easy. There are definitely some stages that are difficult. But, overall, it is not one of those Course of Fires where you're going to get tripped up by silly things. And fairly stable props. You just got to be able to shoot. So, no further ado, let's get into it. Stage 1, I know you ladder. There is a typo in that. It says I know your ladder, but it really should be I know you ladder. And I guess that was a typo one way or another, but it is 120 seconds. It is a 12 round. So make sure you have a larger magazine or a second magazine. And, but I'm not gonna make you force a reload. It is 80 yards and it's got 2 targets, a big and a small. And then the props you're shooting off of is the folding chair and the sawhorse with a step ladder laying on it. It's really pretty stable, as you'll see, but you might want to tie him down a little bit. You were going to take 2 shots, 1 at each target, big, small, from each rung. There's only 5 rungs on the step ladder. So 5, and then you have to go back and repeat a rung. The top does not count as a rung. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then repeat any of them you want. Either order, either side, doesn't matter. Just gonna shoot big, small, and then that's it. So it's a fairly simple stage, and I just wanted to try to shoot with a little bit, using the props a little bit differently. So let's go out and look at it. All right, so the ladder. Like I said, 5 rungs, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is not a rung. That's the top. So 5 rungs, gonna shoot 5, repeat. Can't repeat the last one you used. So the key here, I believe, is to figure out what your best position is. I was originally thinking that this might be, but this is actually pretty low for me. I'd rather have my knee up. So I'm actually thinking that this is my best position. Maybe it could be that one, but it'd be easy enough to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, come back to here and repeat my best position for number 6. If for some reason you do like it low and you want to repeat that, there is a way to do that. You would just shoot 1, 2, 3, skip 4, come back 5, and back to 6, and then you have 2 that are on the one you want. So you can always figure out, just make it your 4th and your 6th, or at your favorite spot. Or you could shoot this first, go up, and then come all the way back. But that might not be bad if you want to get a wing call or something first. But I think I'm just going to shoot it. Shoot it up and back. And like I said, this should be a fairly simple stage. Big, small. I like. Should always be big, small. I don't know why we ever do small then large. That doesn't make sense to me. But big, small is the norm. And so let's go ahead and shoot it. Ready? Engage. Come on, there you go. Knee up. Still bouncing.
30 seconds.
All right, tons and tons and tons of time. Even with 6 positions, big, small, you can move this very easily. And I was just trying to go for a different type of prop and see how it would do. This is definitely one of the easiest stages that I designed. So let's go on. Stage 2, new tank trap boogie. So again, this is 120 seconds. It is only a 9 rounder, and that's because there's a good bit of movement on this. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna start on any position on the tank trap. There's 4 positions on a tank trap, 3 tips and a center. You can use any of them. You're only gonna use 3. So you're gonna leave out a tip or you're gonna leave out a center, it doesn't matter. But you're gonna choose any of those 4, and you're going to be shooting the TYL at 40 yards. So you're going to shoot the largest target, which is the 1 inch, Then you're going to shoot the next one, which is 3/4. Then you're going to drop down, you know, as close to there as you can, and shoot prone at the 1/4 inch. Then you're going to get up and repeat that for 2 more positions on the tank trap. So there's going to be 3 times where you're dropping to the ground and shooting that prone and then getting back up. So it's a good bit of movement. It is a 1/4 inch target, which is always tricky, but it's at 40 yards so that you can move fairly quickly. I didn't want to make it too hard and have you spending too much time on the ground. And that is also why it's only a 9 round. I almost made this a 12 rounder and use all 4 positions, but decided to make it 9. There's going to be enough movement as there is. So let's get out there and see it. So for the tank trap, we're going to be shooting the KYO, and we're going to be shooting the 2 biggest ones from on the tank trap, and then the smallest one from prone, 3 times. If I have to get 3 positions, I am probably going to be, I always try to go to the center first, get your wing call, and then 2 tips. I would pick this tip and that tip. Depends on which way they're faced. I just randomly put this down, but that one's harder to get to, especially prone afterwards. So I can go prone right under here, prone right off to the side, and should be all right. I'm gonna have my bipod on and deployed. I am debating running the bag and having an extra rear bag, or just running this medium by itself and going back and forth from it being on and it being a rear bag. I think I'm going to try it with both because I love the way this thing sits with the plate on a tripod, on a tank trap. So I think that's what I'm going to try. Otherwise, I just hope the camera's not in the way. But yeah, let's give this a go. I think this is about a little bit of speed, but you know, you got to slow down enough to make your hits. So let's give it a go. Engage. All right. Barely can squeeze in here. Rock solid. Nice. All right.
Seconds.
All right. Lots of time.
Ten, 9, 8,
Easy.
7, 6, 5.
All right. That was not bad. I did knock my bipod a little bit. I usually don't like it on when I'm shooting off barricade or tank trap, but in this case I needed to, and I didn't want to pull it up, pull it down. You can see I took a lot of time, especially on the 1/4 inch, to make sure I was getting my shot. And you know, a little cardio, heart's beating a little bit, but that's what I like is I like movement. I like to be able to, I like multiple positions.
So let's get on to the next one.
Stage 3, Franklin's Tower end barrel. So we're going to use the pyramid, and we're going to have the barrel right next to it. You're going to start on the bottom rung of the pyramid, take a shot at the near target, which is 58 yards, 1.5 inch target, so not huge, but not tiny. Was it 0.7? So it's fine. And then we're going to go up on the barrel and shoot the far target, which is 100 yards and about the same size, 0.8. And then we're going to go back to the second rung of the ladder, second from the bottom, shoot the small, back to the barrel, back to the next rung up, back to the barrel, next rung up, back to the barrel. So there is a good bit of movement on this again. It may even be the most difficult stage because of the movement. Although I made the targets fairly good size, and I did make the distances in such a way that we should have a pretty good holdover. My holdover is right there at 1.5. I bet you're going to be somewhere 1.4 to 1.6. And so it shouldn't be too hard to use a holdover on this stage. And I think I'd recommend it because you're going to have to move a good bit. So I wouldn't try to dial this stage. And otherwise, it's pretty straightforward. It's just see how good you can shoot.
All right, we will do the Franklin's Tower and barrel. So we're gonna start off shooting here. Near target, far target, near target, far target, near target, far target, near target, far target, near target. I will hold over on this. It will be down at, put it on the near target, hold over 1.5 on this one. Hopefully you're 1.4 to 1.6. And I don't think this is hard stage. It is just a time consuming stage. So again, you're gonna have to move a little bit. And I think it's not that bad though. We'll see. I may be slow, but I am just going to use my plate bag, and I'm just going to move it. You could easily run this with 2 mediums or 2 bags, and leave one on the tower that you move, and just leave one on the barrel, and then you're just moving your rifle. You do have to then come back and move your bag again, but that's not how I'm going to run it. I like just moving it on this. I think it's super stable on this barrel, so that's what I'm going to do, and we will see how that works. Shooter ready? Engage. Where am I? All right. All right. 10 seconds left.
9.
Whew. Sorry about noise, some kids running by and airplanes above, but that wasn't that bad. Not bad at all. Holdover worked good. I think. I found it quick enough. Moving off of these over to here, it's a pretty short little jump. A little bit more when you get up to the top and of course the very bottom, but I thought that was a little easier than I expected it to be. But it's a lot of movement, and I only had 10 seconds left, so if this was a 1:05 minute 45 stage, I would have been a little late. I probably would have moved a little quicker. I waited on my holdover to make sure it was exactly where I thought it was. So good, let's get the next one.
Stage 4, beat it on down the troop line. I like a troop line. I shoot a lot of them in PRS and especially centerfire. And so I decided if we're going to go prone, let's make it the time stage, which I like a prone time stage, and let's do a troop line. So I put the targets we had 5 targets to put out there. Farthest is at 100, so I did them every 10 yards, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100. And they go out every 10 yards, and then they start at 1 inch and go up to 3 inch, so they increase in ½ inch as you go out. And I didn't try to set these up for any particular elevation on your scope or anything. I just put them out there. So your holdovers may not be great if you want to use holdovers, or you can dial. I think I'm going to try both out here and see which one I can do faster. I often can dial faster than I can holdover, especially using a marked turret with the ballistic tape on it and colors. I'm pretty fast that way. Too often when I have a weird number, like if I have to hold over like a 0.7, I really got to look at it, and I got to look at that reticle a lot and go, okay, there's 0.6, there's 0.8, it's halfway in between, and that takes me longer than dialing. And I just have to confirm it a few times in my head. A little difficult for me at times. I should get better at it. I should practice it more, but I like to dial. So I think I can dial this pretty fast, but I'm going to try it both ways and we will see what happens.
All right, prone. I am going to run this both ways. It's not much to a prone troop line. You just got to shoot all the targets near to far, far to near, and then I'm going to do holdovers the second time. So let's see what'll happen. Engage. Where are you? All right, 1 minute exactly. Now, it will take me longer. If I have to do any parallax adjustments, it'll take me longer. If I have to hunt a little bit more for the targets, my targets are very easy to find on this, so I expect to take longer, probably, I would say a good 10 seconds longer. So, but I can still compare both methods since they'll be the same. So now I am going to run this with my holds instead of dialing. And the hard part is I have to look at this more and I have to see where it is, and I have some weird ones like 0.7 and 1.1. I don't really like that. And often, depending on the size of the target, I can just hold 1 or 0.8 or 0.6, but I think I'm gonna have to hold this exact because I didn't make these very big. But Yeah, let's see what happens if we do that. Engage. No, 1.1, 1.5, 1.1, 7, 4, 0. I had 104. A little quicker, maybe. I got on target much faster that time. I didn't hunt for it. I got on. I used my red dot, which I'm trying to learn how to use, and it got me on faster than when I was hunting. It's so close that I feel like I'd be better off dialing, because then I'm always holding in the right place, which is the center. And sometimes I feel like I'm not in the right place. So, but that's me. A lot of people like to hold over better.
Stage 5, fire on the rooftop. So we're going to take the rooftop, set it up, pointing down range like normal. And what we're going to do is we're going to go to your strong side. That's your normal shooting side. And if you're a righty, most people are righties, but do the opposite if you're lefty. If you're a righty, you're going to go to the left side of the rooftop, and you're going to place your rifle up on the ridge just like you were shooting it laying on the rooftop, but you're going to be standing next to it. And then you're going to shoot 2 shots at 75-yard target, and then 2 shots at a 95-yard target. Then you're going to pick up your rifle, walk around the rooftop to the opposite side, set it down, and shoot it weak side. That means your weak eye, your weak finger, trigger finger, your weak shoulder. And I like weak side shooting, support side shooting, whatever you want to call it. I like doing that. It's a skill we don't get to practice a lot. We occasionally have them, but I always think they're fun to do. So we're going to shoot strong side. We're going to shoot weak side. Same thing. That's 8 shots. And then we're going to climb on the roof and shoot the 1 shot at each target from your strong side. If you want to shoot weak side, you can, but from your strong side up on the top of the roof. So 4 strong, 4 weak, 2 strong on the top. And this should be interesting to see how it works out. Sometimes, you know, the hardest part is your eye relief when you're shooting support side, and sometimes it takes a little longer because of that. And so don't waste too much time shooting on your strong side. Try to get over to the other. Also, you don't have to shoot with both feet on the ground. You can kind of half lay on, you know, put one leg up on it if that helps you. I don't see that helps you a lot, but some people it may, in order to kind of square them up a little bit more. But I think if you're the targets are in the center of the roof, you know, you are going to be angled just a little bit on each side so that you can square up pretty good just standing there. So, but if you want a little bit of support from a leg, or maybe even a knee up and use your elbow, maybe it'll help. We'll have to go and look and see if there's anything else we can do, but otherwise, let's get out and check it out. All right, and finally, the stage that I hear people talking about the most, and that's because it's got a weak side shoot in it. I like weak side shooting. I have a good left eye. It's actually better than my right, so I probably could shoot lefty and be all right, but I do shoot righty. So this will be your first position.
shooting regular righty, strong side if you're lefty. And then I'll move to the other side. I'm not using any rear bags. I have gotten to the point where I don't need them on rooftops. I sometimes will rest my elbow down, but they've gotten so stable. I think if you try to use a rear bag, a pump pillow, something like that, and you go to your weak side and try to do all that backwards from what you're used to, it's going to frustrate you. Just put the bag on the ridge, look through it, and shoot. I think that's all you really need to do. You'll see that I'll be pretty darn steady. So let me show you what I'm going to do. And I'll probably look at a little bit. I think I am just going to shoot it straight on like this. That's as steady as you get. I'm kind of leaning into it. I don't think I need to. I see no advantage in that. I can't get up to my knee to my elbow, so I see no advantage in that. Maybe other rooftops are different. I'm just shooting it straight. So let's go ahead and do it. You ready? Engage. All right. Let it stop moving. Let it stop moving. Alright, there it is. Let it stop moving. Let it stop moving. I'm going to put it in the middle just because this is not real secure.
Seconds.
All time in the world. That's it. 15 seconds left or so.
10, 9, 8.
I really wasn't very difficult. I didn't think. I should have made this a little harder, smaller targets, something. I might have made this too easy. I still have minute 30 or minute 45 in my head from shooting a lot of PRS matches, the nationals, things like that. So probably could have made this harder, but as I said before, this is all about getting the new shooters into it, and I didn't want some of the silly stuff in my mind, silly stuff that I've been seeing. So I hope you all enjoyed it. I enjoyed putting it together, and otherwise, see you out there.
All right, shooters, that's it for this course of fire. I hope you enjoyed it. That's always the goal, is to make a course of fire that people are going to enjoy. I also was definitely trying to make a course of fire that is something that new shooters will enjoy. And sometimes I think we get into those, memory games of which target to shoot, and that's hard on new shooters. And I believe the NRL22 is all about new shooters. It is fun for experienced shooters like me to still shoot it, but it really is made for new shooters to bring them up and understand the sport a little better. So I hope everyone keeps that in mind when they see this course of fire, that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to build skills, but I'm also trying to not make it overwhelming to just memorize things. So otherwise, I'll be shooting at 17 South as usual in July. And then otherwise, I hope to get out to some other PRS Rimfire and NRL22X matches very soon. So hopefully I see you out there soon. And thanks to everyone, especially the ROs, for the NRL22 Championship, and definitely the match directors. It was a very well-run match, and we appreciate it.